Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it feels extremely weird to be back on camera. I haven't been on camera and I don't know how long, but I'm trying to jump back into the swing of things when it comes to filming for this channel and filming for YouTube. So I don't really have anything planned for this video. I really just wanted to sit down and film. So I guess I'm just gonna make this video rambly, which in the past people have said that my rambly videos help them anyway. So I figured I would just do a little late night rambling of things that have just been on my mind in general. And the thing that I've been pondering the most today is how certain people can come into your life and really knock you off your path. And it's almost as if they were sent to do that. It's almost as if they were on assignment to do that. And usually these people are narcissists. As all of you may know who have been on my channel, I have experienced narcissistic abuse in the past. I started my channel based off of a very horrific incident with a narcissist, and that narcissist was an overt narcissist, meaning they were the type of narcissist that's very out in the open about their arrogance, about their cruelty. Like, this was just a very arrogant person, and they didn't try to hide it either. I just didn't know the extent of his cruelty until the devaluation and discard, right? But I never really knew about something that's called a covert narcissist. I did so much research on narcissism, and for some reason, covert narcissists never came up on my radar. So it makes perfect sense that after I experienced the overt narcissist and I started my YouTube channel, I all of a sudden attracted a covert narcissist. And I didn't know it. Like, I couldn't see it, because for those of you who don't know, a covert narcissist is a narcissist who is very, well, they come across as very shy and very timid. They come across as very empathetic. They come across as very like they're the victim, like life has beaten them down. I'm going to do a whole video about 5 signs that, you've been with a covert narcissist, because I just feel like a lot of people are not aware of this type of narcissist, and to me, they are the worst type. So like I said, after I started my YouTube channel about the overt narcissist, I feel like I was really walking in my purpose. I feel like I have found my reason for being on this earth, which was a big deal for me, because I never really felt like I had much of a purpose. I never really had a passion outside of relationships. Like, my life just consisted of one relationship after another, and usually they were very toxic, tumultuous relationships. So when I got on YouTube and I started making videos, I felt like I'm walking in my purpose. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm on earth for. And it felt really good. It felt really nice. And all of a sudden my YouTube channel started to kind of take off, or it started getting a lot of views. It started getting a lot of attention, which to me just signified that I was in alignment and I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, in terms of my life purpose. So when I met this person, this covert narcissist, I didn't have my guard up as much. I felt like I was in a good space, right, career-wise and with YouTube. And this person came in, so I was happy, you know what I'm saying? I was happy, I was feeling confident. And this person came in, and I just figured that they were in alignment with me. Like, I'm walking in my purpose, I'm feeling good about myself, so I must have just like attracted this person who's in alignment with me, because this person was so similar to me. They were someone who was also very empathetic. They were someone who, they themselves were on a healing journey, healing from narcissistic abuse, because they had dealt with a narcissist in the past, and their parents were narcissists and things like that. And I'm just like, wow, me and this person, we get each other so much. And that's kind of how I saw it when we crossed paths, especially because this person was one of my subscribers as well. And as time went on, that mask started to slip. And again, the reason I feel like this person was able to slip through the cracks is because I was very knowledgeable about overt narcissism. Like, I had a whole checklist of things to look for when it comes to an overt narcissist, you know, like how they don't respect boundaries, they're arrogant, they're, you know, it's just like a whole laundry list of red flags for overt narcissists, but none of those red flags apply to covert narcissists, which I didn't know. So when I met this person, like I said, they were empathetic, they were sensitive, they were sweet. It just seemed like everyone around them was mistreating them, you know, like they kind of came into my life as like the victim, quote unquote, of everyone around them. And they respected boundaries. Like if I told them that I, you know, had to put a boundary up, they would respect that. It's like it's so many things that any traits that they had that, like, I would have never in a million years guessed that they were a narcissist, because I didn't know what a covert narcissist was, and he wasn't checking off any of the boxes of being an overt narcissist. So as time went on, I feel like this person's mask definitely started to slip, but I was still very much in denial, I think, because it was such a drastic change. Like when you see someone as you see yourself, like when you see someone as, you know, they have the same traits that you have, they've been through the same abuse that you have, you project yourself onto them. So when they show their true colors and they show who they actually are underneath the mask, it can take a while for you to break that denial, especially when they are very skilled at gaslighting, they're very skilled at deflecting, they're very skilled at twisting things around. You can really start to blame yourself. And I found myself just taking on all the blame, especially because I'm someone who is very dedicated to my healing work. Like I'm not just on YouTube just pump faking about doing healing work. I'm dedicated to it behind the scenes as well. So because I'm someone who's so dedicated to my healing work, I was more likely to blame myself for everything. Like, okay, I'm analyzing myself and I can see where I could have been in the wrong, or I can see how my past trauma could have been the thing that made me misunderstand this person's intentions. I can understand how, you know, I had a very strong emotional reaction, and so that's probably why the argument blew up bigger than what it needed to be. Like I was constantly analyzing myself, especially because after the overt narcissist that I was with, after he discarded me, he completely destroyed my nervous system. He completely like just scrambled my brain pretty much, to the point where I became so emotionally dysregulated that my reactions to things became quite explosive. You know what I'm saying? Like it was harder for me to control my emotions after dealing with the overt narcissist. So when I met the covert narcissist and they were basically gaslighting me and telling me like, oh, you're blowing things out of proportion, or you're seeing things the wrong way, I was thinking that maybe they were right, because I had dealt with an overt narcissist that had kind of messed my brain up. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're right. Maybe this is just residual trauma from the overt narcissist. Maybe I'm seeing things wrong. And that just kept going on and on and on until eventually it was like, I started to see like, no, it's not me. It's not me that is the problem in this. Because even when I would try to change my tone, even when I would try to address situations calmly, I was still being gaslighted and they were still deflecting. And it got to a point where they would start to get violent, like punching walls and things like that, because of the fact that now I had gotten so calm when I would address them about things that they could no longer deflect by gaslighting me and turning me into the villain. So they would escalate things into them becoming violent. They would punch walls, storm out the house. I had so many like holes just all over my house, and kicking the door in, like my door was like off the hinges. So it's like I started to then see like, this is not okay. It's not me. I'm not the problem here. There's something wrong with this person. And this person also had like a group of friends, and all of those friends were highly narcissistic as well. So I was introduced into a friend group of highly narcissistic people. And so they were also in on everything, where they were all blaming me for everything. So it was like me against a whole group of people. I'm trying to explain like, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's this person, whatever. And the whole group of people is just like, because they're so narcissistic and they lack empathy, you know, they were willing to kind of join in on like piling on me and like gaslighting me, deflecting, and I pretty much became the scapegoat of that group. So I feel like I'm really rambling. What was the point of this video? Okay, the original point of this video was that I feel like going through all that, it really took a toll on my self-esteem It took a toll on my nervous system. It took a toll on my physical health. Like dealing with a covert narcissist and dealing with multiple narcissists that are in a group, that really, really takes a toll on every aspect of yourself. And I just felt like at that point I had completely lost who I was as a person. I felt like my confidence and self-esteem were so broken down because I didn't even know which way was up at this point. Like being gaslighted so much, it really will mess with your brain and really will have you thinking that you are the issue, you are the problem. And then when you finally see that you're not the issue, you're not the problem, it's like they get even more rowdy and even more violent to deflect. And then that in itself messes with your nervous system, and it's really a scary situation to be in. So I feel like that just dealing with multiple narcissistic people and being with a covert narcissist, I feel like it completely knocked me off my path, like completely. It knocked me off of my purpose. I remember that whenever I would try to sit down and film for YouTube, my brain would just feel scrambled, completely scrambled. And that's the thing, like no one can actually deny that what I'm saying is true because the proof is kind of in the pudding. Like if you look at my YouTube channel, right when I met that legion of demons, you could see the filming just stopped. And so what does that tell you? Like, what does it tell you if you've been consistently like uploading and walking in your purpose and feeling confident, and then all of a sudden you disappear because you don't feel confident anymore? You feel confused about who you are as a person. You feel like, am I actually the villain in this? Like, am I the terrible person in this? Should I even be on YouTube trying to teach people if I'm the one that's always wrong? It completely just erodes your sense of self-esteem, and things that you're good at, suddenly you feel like you're not good at them anymore. You feel like, you know, you used to be good at speaking to the camera. You used to be good at being on camera and being able to, you know, easily convey what you want to say, and then all of a sudden you're not that anymore. Like you can't even be on camera. You don't feel right even being seen at all. And that's what narcissists do to you, especially covert narcissists, because they destroy you from the inside out. And I just, like I said, I just feel like I really lost myself. And upon further reflection, like now that I'm removed, like I'm far removed from the situation, upon further reflection, it really feels like those people were almost like assigned to knock me off of my purpose. And the more I like pray about it and meditate on it, the more I feel that way. The more I feel like you are meant to be, you know, helping the collective, serving the collective. Like your pain that you've been through in the past, it serves an important purpose, and you're meant to shine your light and help other people go through what you've been through, you know? And I feel like there are certain forces that don't like that, or don't want that to happen, that don't want you to walk in your purpose, don't want you to be confident, don't want you to overcome the things that you've been through in the past to help other people. And I feel like a lot of people who have experienced narcissistic abuse, that's exactly what that is. I feel like if you are targeted by a narcissist, then I feel like you do have an important purpose here on earth, and you are meant to serve the collective in one way or another. And that these narcissists, their main objective is to steal your light from you so that you can't do that. It's so weird. It's like being with a narcissist is like, it's like Revenge of the Body Snatchers. Like their main objective is to, it's almost like their main objective is to break you from the inside out and to almost switch places with you. Because when I went into that situation, I felt so confident about myself. I'm like, everything is going well for me career-wise. Like I had finally detached myself from the overt narcissist, which is not easy. Like if you've dealt with an overt narcissist and you've been discarded by one, it's not easy to detach yourself from them and to elevate. And I was homeless at the time too. It was a whole big thing, but I was able to overcome all of that and to film my, you know, to film for YouTube. And that wasn't an easy feat. And so I felt really good about myself when I met this covert narcissist, and they were the ones that were kind of like, they were a subscriber of mine. So they were kind of like, oh, I look up to you so much. Or like, I have so much admiration for you. I have so much respect for you, because they were a victim themselves. And like, I have so much respect for how you were able to overcome these things. And they also had career aspirations themselves that they were not going towards just yet. But I think they had like a respect for my career because I had gone towards it like full speed ahead, like with my YouTube channel. Even when I was homeless, I was still filming in the park. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they had like some type of admiration for that. The fact that I was like really fearless when it came to YouTube. And by the end of this connection, after dealing with them, dealing with their legion of narcissistic friends, it's like we had completely switched roles. I had zero confidence. I had no energy. The life had literally been drained out of me. I was in a deep, deep depression. And they all of a sudden were the pillar of confidence now. And it's like they were like, oh, you know, I'm ready to go after my career full speed ahead now. And that disturbs my spirit. That disturbs my spirit because I've heard this story so many times from different people. And it's funny because I've dealt with a narcissistic person in the past. I don't think this person was a full-blown narcissist that I'm talking about. This is somebody that I dated in college. I've dealt with a narcissistic person in the past, and I remember there being a similar dynamic where when we met, they were always talking about how good my grades were and how good I was in school, and they always talked about how they were so stupid and how they couldn't get good grades. And within like 2 years of our relationship, I couldn't even go to class because I was so drained and depressed from what they were doing to me emotionally. And they started getting straight A's. It was like we switched lives almost. And that's what, like, it's just, it's energy vampirism. It's someone being a parasite where they don't know how to form their own light. They don't know how to generate their own light. So they come in and take yours and they like switch places with you. And when you finally are realizing what's happening, like you're toward the end of it and like you can fully see what has happened, they are just kind of like, oh, well, I have no use for you anymore. And then they're just gone. You know what I'm saying? So that disturbs my spirit because it reminded me, it just kind of like triggered thinking back to the fact that I've been through this before. Like I've been through this before with the college person and the switching because I stopped getting good grades. I started failing in school. They started getting straight A's. I couldn't even get out of bed, right? It's almost like they're building their confidence off of you, off of the fact that they're breaking you down. It's making them feel elevated. Like I took this person who had confidence. I took this person who was getting good grades, who was good in school, and I was able to emotionally impact them to the point where they're destroyed. So now I feel good, and now I can use that energy to go out and make and create a good life for myself. It's really disturbing when you think about it. And like I said, I feel like narcissistic people, or just narcissists in general, this is their MO. Like this is what they do. Just notice that whenever you've been in a relationship with a narcissist or a narcissistic person, in the end, they always seem like they're on top, and you kind of feel like you've been discarded or thrown away or devalued or broken down because they can't generate their own light. They need to steal yours. And so I'll just say, because this video is going on longer than expected, I'll just say that if you are someone who has encountered multiple narcissists, then that could be a very good indicator that you are someone who is meant to have a specific purpose this lifetime, that you are meant to use your talents and your gifts to, you know, help the collective, to be of service to people, and that in itself can be healing for you. And so I'm finally back at a place where I'm wanting to get back on YouTube and wanting to walk back in my purpose, but it's just, I've been processing everything that has happened over the past 4 or 5 years, and it's sickening to me. It's actually sickening that, you know, being abused by one narcissist can leave you so susceptible to being abused by multiple, and how you just walking in your purpose and shining your light can be almost like a bat signal to narcissistic people to come in and try to steal it. And yeah, it's disturbing to me, but at the end of the day, I just feel like all you can do is get back up and just keep on going, and just remember who you are, remember what your purpose is, and just kind of get back on your path, and just to focus on healing more than anything else. So that's all I want to say in this video, that, you know, if you've been targeted by narcissists your whole life, you have a narcissistic family maybe, you've been in narcissistic relationships, it's because you are meant to do something special here. And special can look many different ways. I'm not saying that you have to be a YouTuber. I'm not saying you have to be a public speaker. Special can mean so many different things. Like, you could be meant to bring a child into this world and break generational curses by, you know, raising that child with love that you never got. Like, there's so many different avenues that somebody's life purpose can take. But I'm just hoping that for those of us who have experienced these things, that, you know, you're able to really get back to understanding and knowing who you are, and to not let people like this break you. And if anything, to see their attempts to come into your life and break you as confirmation that you are meant to be great, that you're meant to shine your light, and you're meant to do something special this lifetime. And these people genuinely just want to block that from happening. So yeah, that's it. I'm probably gonna film another video since I'm already up and out of bed. I'm probably gonna film one more about probably about like the discard phase and how to overcome the discard phase of narcissism, because I feel like that's the most difficult or challenging thing that people, you know, have to experience. So I think I'm going to film that after this. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me ramble. I'm really excited to get back on YouTube because I'm feeling a million times better. And yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.